Today, we got a question about what's going to be better, Mandalorian or The Last of Us?
Hey, John, this is Dennis from Nashville, Tennessee. I was just wondering, with Pedro Pascal leading the charge with the streaming shows with Mandalorian and The Last of Us, which one do you think will end up being the better show at the end of the year? And which one do you think will win more awards, if any at all?
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, Dennis. And you know what? This is a question that's kind of came up prior to The Last of Us starting, right? We've all been talking for a while. It's like, holy crap. Like the first quarter of 2023 is like owned by Pedro Pascal. He's got Mandalorian. He's got Last of Us. You know, a lot of the questions came, well, what's going to be better and all that kind of stuff. Now, initially, we were all saying the common sense thing. They're going to be two very different shows. That's going to be hard to compare. And by the way, we haven't seen Last of Us yet. We haven't got to see any, but okay. We're now 3+ hours into The Last of Us, which probably almost equates a full season of Mandalorian anyway, but we're about 3+ hours into The Last of Us. By the way, episode 3, hour and 20 something minutes. Man, making Disney look bad. Making Disney Plus look bad with their stupid shit little 32-minute episodes. Anyway, that's another topic for another time. But now we've seen a few episodes, so we have a little bit of a basis for comparison, right? And like we all thought, you all thought it, we thought it, these are very different shows. I mean, so it's hard to compare. But they are Pedro Pascal vehicles coming out roughly, there's even going to be a little bit of a bumper there. Which of these two shows is ultimately going to end up being the better show? Let me start off by saying this. I passionately love Mandalorian. And it's funny how everybody's tune changed, because when season 2 came to an end of Mandalorian and Luke shows up, all of a sudden everybody looked back at season 2 with these rose-colored glasses. Don't think I forgot. Every week in the first 5 episodes or so, everything, season 2 is not as good as season 1. And I'm like, what are you talking about? This is brilliant. This is the classic story arc of going like adventure by adventure every episode. No, and everybody was complaining about season 2. And then all of a sudden they did a Luke cameo and everybody thought season 2 was the greatest thing ever. I thought season 2 was fantastic. I love this show. Last of Us is the better show. They're very, very different. They go for different things. They're aiming for even different audiences in many ways. But as much as I love Mandalorian, and I cannot wait for season 3 to start, I am positively giddy about season 3 starting. Last of Us is the better show. Now, we're going to go into episode 3 in a little bit. So we're not going to go into anything in episode 3 right at this moment, but I'll just say this. Its overall ability to tell its story and enrapture the audience into it is not just great compared to Mandalorian or compared to genre material. This is one of the best shows I've seen in years. Like I put out a tweet yesterday that just basically said, just give Last of Us all the awards. I mean, because come Emmy season, we get all excited around here when a show like Andor gets some Emmy attention, gets a nomination here, there. When Mandalorian got a couple of nominations, like we all get really, really excited about it. I'm telling you right now, Last of Us is going to be a serious front runner when the next Emmys come around. It's going to be a serious, not just, oh, isn't that cute, this little genre thing getting some attention. It's going to be a serious front runner. I can already tell you, it's freaking January, and we can already say that with almost certainty. So when it comes to, Dennis is asking about awards, definitely Last of Us has a better chance at that. And as passionately in love as I am with this, listen, this show The Last of Us is better than The Boys. You know how much I love The Boys. I think Last of Us is better than Yellowstone. Up until now, I've been saying Yellowstone is my favorite show on TV right now. And I love it. It's amazing. This is a better show than Yellowstone. So I would go, now that we've got a little bit of a sample size of The Last of Us, I will say while they are totally different shows, I lean towards The Last of Us. Chris, this discussion went on for months and months and months leading up to Last of Us coming out. What's ultimately going to be better? It's just fan things, but we've got a little bit of a taste now. And if you were put in a corner, said you got to say which one do you think is the better show? We got about 3+ hours of Last of Us now. Mandalorian or Last of Us, which is the better Pedro Pascal vehicle?
I would be like, I'm very claustrophobic. Please let me out of this corner. This is rude and abrasive. Why can't I like both? Why can't I like both equally for different reasons? I can have nice things. I think ultimately I have a little bit more fun watching Last of Us because I'm more familiar with it than I am with Star Wars ultimately. Like when I watch Mando with Logan, he knows so much extended lore. He reads all the novels. He has so many figures. He reads the comics and everything. Whereas I am more of a casual Star Wars viewer in that I've only seen the movies in the animated universe, which in terms of Star Wars does make you a bit more of a filthy casual than, some others. Whereas for Last of Us, when I'm watching this, it's, oh, what an interesting way that they changed this, or, oh, that differs from the lore in the game, or, hey, Bill actually said, I can have that kind of thing. So I think I find enjoyment in The Last of Us in that way of being able to experience it as a gamer again, and then also be really, really moved by that story. Whereas, Mando, a lot of times too, some of the episodes, some of the little romps are just space fun. It's a very, very different vibe. If I want to have a really gut-wrenching emotional journey, apparently I'm going to watch The Last of Us. But if I want to have some space explorations and shenanigans, I'm going to go to Mando.
Rob, it's one we've had to talk about for a while now, but now we've got a little bit of substance to base around. The viewers asking, which one do we think is going to end up being the better show? What do you think?
It's interesting because we're always pitting one show against another, or one thing's better
Well,
than the other.
that's what we do.
I know, that's what we do. But I think one, like you pointed out, they're very different shows.
Yes.
And they're both very enjoyable. And I have to say, dude, I'm waiting for the name. I think after this season, The Mandalorian's going to change its title to The Mandalorians. I think,
the gasp across the auditorium.
I think that's going to happen because it looks that way. I mean, and I keep saying that, and how cool would that be?
Filleth over.
But anyway, that beside the point. I mean, it's delivering that pulp Star Wars goodness that we're looking for, and Pedro Pascal's awesome in the role. But even the experience of Pedro Pascal is so much deeper and resonant in The Last of Us. If you're just using Pedro Pascal as your bellwether, I think The Last of Us serves him better. We're getting to know him more. And even last night, I mean, it's amazing how they sort of used Pedro Pascal as a bookending, so to speak, the episode, which really surprised me. Because the format of the episode.
Well, let's not go too much into the individual episode.
Just how it ended.
But no, but I thought it was. I thought it was. I mean, he's amazing in this show, and I think The Last of Us is. And I hate to say this because I hope people take it in the spirit it's intended. The Last of Us is about more than The Mandalorian is.
I think that's a safe thing to say.
In terms of the human experience. And so I would say as a show that is more resonant, that has wider appeal to audiences beyond the fan audience, I think The Last of Us would be, by certain metrics, considered a better show.
All right, guys, the question is for you. It's a question we've all been talking about in our fan circles for months and months and months. What do you think is going to be the better Pedro Pascal show, Mandalorian, Last of Us? Well, we've got a significant sample size now, 3+ hours, Last of Us. How would you see it? They're clearly very, very different shows, and we could absolutely love both of them. But if you had to give the edge to one, which one would it be? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. If saving more and spending less is one of your top goals for 2023, why are you still paying insane amounts of money every month for your phone bill? Switching to Mint Mobile is the easiest way to save money this year. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order from home and save a ton, with phone plans starting at just $15 a month. Guys, I have told you before that when I was on one of the major phone carriers, I was spending literally 3 times as much every month, and switching to Mint Mobile couldn't have been easier. So for people just looking to save some extra money this year, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. All plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and switch easily in just minutes with eSIM. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea.